Hey guys, welcome to episode 8 of Cooking Around the Planet, the show where we learn about and cook a recipe from each country until we've done them all. If you're new here, I'm Austin, that's my wife Jess, and as always, star of the show, Otto, taking a little nap. Taking a little nap.
Hi, Mommy.
The three of us share a love for food, travel, and culture, and that's what this show is all about. So welcome into our home, we're happy to have you. Last week was incredible to say the least. Our souls were blessed with chicken pilau from Trinidad and Tobago, and we've already made it a second time since last week. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the awesome response we got from the Trinidad and Tobago community. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the kind words, the tips, and the tricks you sent our way, and also all the positivity. The idea behind this show is to experience different cultures and learn from the locals about all these beautiful countries on this planet. So, thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. We really appreciate it. If you've seen the previous episodes, thanks for tuning back in. It's a pleasure to have you. But with a little time to spare, we move forward to this week. And man, we're stoked about this one. We're actually on this side of the world for our first episode in Benin. And from Benin, you don't have to travel far to get to this place. It's just a little east. We're headed to Nigeria, and we couldn't be more excited. Are we gonna try to cook jollof rice? We're gonna give it our best shot, potentially. Stay tuned, let's get right into it. So, we are going to give jollof rice a shot. Be patient with us. So, when looking for a dish to cook from Nigeria, as soon as you type it in Google, what comes up? Jollof rice. Everybody says you gotta cook this. It's the national dish of Nigeria. It's a dish that's popular all over West Africa. Nigeria has their own spin on it, and we're gonna give it a shot. So, we got this recipe from Kiki Foodies on YouTube. She has a great video. She goes to the grocery, she cooks it and it's super detailed, and we're gonna kind of follow it step by step, see if we can't make something edible. But she laid it out perfectly for us, so let's give it a shot. Jollof rice itself is just rice and a tomato-based sauce that you make in a blender, and then you can also add any type of protein. Turkey is very common. We're actually using chicken, and we're gonna take it, and what they do is they fry it. I mean, I said in a previous episode, you had me at fried. So, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna actually make a broth. You can buy chicken broth for this dish from your grocery store, but in Nigeria, they make their own broth, so that's how we're gonna do it. And we're gonna emulate it as best we can. So, first thing we're gonna do, we got some chicken. I just got some drumsticks and some chicken thighs, bone in, gave it a good rinse, and we're gonna add it to a pot. The pot right now is very low heat. And we go in with 3 cloves of garlic, a chicken bouillon cube, but we're gonna kinda, is it bouillon or bouillon?
I think it depends on...
Depending on where you're from, 'cause
yeah.
I could be saying. So we're gonna kinda mash this up. Going with about a quarter chopped red onion. And one, she said about thumb-sized piece of ginger. I'm gonna go in with some thyme and some curry powder and some salt. We're gonna kind of mix this in. First merge of the episode. Welcome. The technique goes, so before we add water to it, we're gonna put a top on it, let it simmer for about 10 minutes, kind of let that moisture draw out of it, and then we're gonna kind of top it with some water. So we got it on a low heat, put a top on it about 10-15 minutes, and while this simmers, I'm gonna send it over to Jess to introduce you to the beautiful country of Nigeria.
Nigeria is located in Africa. To the north, it's bordered by Niger, To the east by Chad and Cameroon. To the south, you'll find the Gulf of Guinea. And to the west is the country of Benin. Nigeria is not the largest country in Africa, but it is known as the Giant of Africa. It is larger than the US state of Texas and is the most populated country in Africa and the 6th most populated country in the entire world, with 228,181,000 people. Nigeria has an unrivaled cultural magnificence with over 250 ethnic groups. Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo are the largest of these groups. While English is said to be the national language, over 500 languages are spoken in Nigeria. About 46% of people in Nigeria live in rural areas, where agriculture is a significant source of livelihood, with crops such as yams, cassava, and cacao are cultivated. Fishing is also an important part of these communities, where rivers and lakes are present. Additionally, some individuals may work in traditional crafts such as weaving, pottery, and carving. The rest of the population that dwell in cities are often in search of higher education and healthcare, and may work in the formal sectors such as finance, computing, and law, or more commonly, the informal sectors such as market vendors, mechanics, artisans, or maintenance workers, and is said to be the backbone of Nigeria, making up 65% of the nation's GDP.
All right, this has been simmering for about 10 minutes. So we're gonna add a little bit of water. I imagine this is probably about 2 cups. Just about covering the chicken. Give that a mix. We're gonna cover this and cook it for another 10 to 15 minutes. We're not trying to cook the chicken at this point because we're gonna be taking the chicken out and frying it more. So you don't wanna overcook the chicken right now. From what I was seeing, you wanna cook it to about 80%. Obviously, you'd probably rather undercook it at this point than overcook it because you don't want it to get dried out. All right, next step in this dish is we're gonna make a tomato sauce using Roma tomatoes, red bell pepper, about 1/4 of red onion. This is a habanero pepper. If you could find Scotch bonnet pepper, that's perfect, but this will do. And I've heard these things are really, really hot, so we're gonna use probably about 1/4 of this. We don't wanna overdo it. But this dish has to have spice in it. But we're gonna take it easy the first time. We're gonna overdo the spice. So let's get to going. All right, we got 4 Roma tomatoes in here. We're gonna go in with our bell pepper, de-seeded, deveined, and we're 1/4 of a red onion. We're gonna go, let's say it's a little less than half. Thought I was gonna
Burn your
knock me
nostrils?
off, but
Scared.
we blend until smooth. I gotta take a look. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty watery, that's normal. And it's all blended in. So we're gonna set this aside for now. The chicken broth has about another 5 minutes to simmer. And for now, we're gonna send it back to Jess with some more information about Nigeria.
Since 1991, Abuja has been the capital of Nigeria, located pretty much right in the center of the country. It is considered a new town with a heavy focus on urbanization and working to build a modernized, strong economy. Before 1992, the capital city was Lagos. It is located on the southeastern coast and is the largest city in Nigeria. With an estimated population of 21 million, it is the most populated urban area in all of Africa. The city has a significant influence on education, commerce, entertainment, technology, politics, tourism, art, and fashion. And it is also the largest port city in Nigeria. Evidence of human occupation in Nigeria dates back thousands of years. The oldest fossil remains found by archaeologists date back to 9000 BCE. The oldest recognizable evidence of an organized society belongs to the Knot culture, which was prominent circa 500 BCE to 200 CE. Numerous ancient African civilizations have settled in what is now known as Nigeria, such as the Benin Empire and the Oyo Empire. The area began to come under British control in 1861 and was made a British colony in 1914. Nigeria gained independence in 1960 and became a republic in 1963.
All right, our broth is just about ready. It's been simmering for about 10 minutes now. We're gonna take the chicken out. Oh.
Chicken on the run.
The smell is phenomenal. People knocking at the door. It's been a windy day, so this scent is gonna travel. Set this aside. We're gonna take a pretty fine strainer. We're going to just pour this right into the bowl. A piece of ginger and garlic. There it is. Something to kind of squeeze out all that good stuff. And there you have it, chicken broth. First time we ever made chicken broth.
How about that?
Really easy. And it smells way better than the chicken broth you.
Yeah.
It's way better for you, by the way.
Yes, definitely.
So, we're gonna set the broth aside. We'll come back to that later. So we're gonna take the tomato sauce that we made. We're gonna pour it in that same pan that the chicken came out of. And obviously this is really watery right now, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna reduce it for about 30 to 40 minutes. It's gonna start bubbling, and from what I've heard, don't stir it because it's gonna splash everywhere if you do stir it, so you're just you don't wanna bother it. Just let it do its thing, let the water come out, and it's gonna kind of reduce down into more of a thicker consistency, and then we're gonna use that later on. So it's gonna start to bubble up. We'll come back, I'll show you in a second once it heats up. And let's go to the next step. All right, next step in the dish is we're gonna fry up this chicken. Got some oil heated up, and we're just gonna drop this chicken in here and get it nice and golden brown.
Religion in Nigeria is diverse. The country is home to some of the largest Christian and Muslim populations simultaneously. Reliable recent statistics don't really exist. However, Nigeria is divided roughly in half between Muslims, who mostly live within the northern regions, and Christians living mostly in the southern regions. And there is still a small population that practices indigenous religions such as the Yoruba and the Igbo communities. Nigeria is the largest oil and gas producer in all of Africa and is heavily rich in natural resources such as coal, iron ore, limestone, and gold. Football, or in America known as soccer, is an obsession in Nigeria. The national team, the Super Eagles, reached the World Cup finals in 1992, 1994, and 2002. And won the gold medal in the 1996 Olympics. The national women's team, the Super Falcons, is Africa's most successful international women's football team and have reached the quarterfinals in both the Women's FIFA World Cup and in the Olympics.
Get a tight shot of this last piece coming out. Whoa. Crispy.
Chicken.
Hear that? Probably not. So, take a look at this as well. This is reducing very nicely, exactly what you want. Not too hot, not too cold. So, before we go over to Jess, don't do anything with your oil. We're gonna use this oil, obviously let it cool down real nice. We'll see you back here after I send it over to Jess with some fun facts about Nigeria.
Did you know that Nigeria has the second largest movie production industry in the entire world? followed by Bollywood, which is first, and then Hollywood in the United States being third. Nigeria's Nollywood puts out about 1,000 movies every year. Nigeria has produced some world-renowned musicians, including Sade, who is the first Nigerian-born artist to win a Grammy in 2002. Some current popular musicians today, Tems, Wizkid, Burna Boy, and Davido are also all Nigerian-born artists. There is a town in Nigeria, Igbo Ora, that has the highest rate of twin births per year in the entire world. There are actually scientific studies being done right now to determine why this is, but it is believed that the consumption of yams and okra leaves are the reason.
Hungry?
Please excuse this interruption for Otto's dinner time. While doing my research on Nigeria this week, I found an article that was inspiring, and I thought it would be cool to start sprinkling in some exciting, inspiring current events that are happening within that country. So in early April of this year, a 29-year-old Nigerian chess champion and child education advocate, Tunde Onakoya, played chess for 60 hours straight in New York City's Times Square to break the Guinness World Record for longest chess marathon, and in an effort to raise $1 million for children's education through his foundation, Chess in Slums. In his own words, Tunde Onakoya said he had plenty of energy throughout the entire process because his people of Nigeria were there cheering him on with music and dance, and he said specifically on his menu for this 60-hour feat was lots of water and what we're making tonight. I thought it would be cool to feature his foundation on our video, so if you would like to make a donation to support children's education in Africa, we have put the link in our description to donate specifically to his foundation.
All right, now we are gonna take all this stuff we made and put it in one pot. But first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take our oil that we used to fry the chicken. We're not gonna put it all in here, but just enough to kind of cover the bottom of this cast iron Dutch oven. Say about 4 tablespoons. So from what I heard, you don't want to use a pan that's non-stick because you actually want the rice to stick to the side. Even burning the rice on the side is actually okay. It's actually what you kind of want to give it like a smoky flavor. Smokiness is a very important flavor in Nigerian jollof rice. So we got this going on about a medium heat. We're gonna add to the oil a 1/4 of red onion. Next addition is tomato paste. Take about a 1/2 can, 3/4 of a can. And we're gonna fry this tomato paste. Fry this for about 5 to 7 minutes. And you're gonna want it to get a nice deep dark red. That means you're gonna have the most flavor when you see that dark red. All right, it's heating up, starting to come together real nice. Keep this thing stirring, you don't want it to burn. Oh yeah, we're here. We made it. Yeah, super dark red. Almost kind of like a little gristle. Ever had gristle? I'm not sure exactly what that is, but it seems like that's what it would be. Now, we're gonna add in our pepper sauce, as it actually is called. I was calling it tomato sauce, I'm sorry. It's actually pepper sauce. And look at that. Look how much that reduced. That's awesome. Looks like the moon.
Craters. Red moon.
So, go right in with that. Going with salt to start. Curry powder again. Some thyme. Wow, that curry powder just
Yeah.
unreal.
I think that's my favorite seasoning.
Put it in a candle.
Please, someone put it in a candle.
So they got bay leaves here. Out.
Start shaking.
There we go. We're gonna go 2 in. Hopefully it's not too much. I've heard that they can be overwhelming. It smells so good. Another bouillon cube. So now we're gonna add our chicken stock. Just gonna do about 2, let's say 3 cups. All right, everything's mixed in there. It's kind of got a beautiful texture now, almost like a soup. And lastly, we have 3 cups of rinsed parboiled rice. To make it Nigerian jollof rice, you have to use parboiled rice. That's what I heard, and that's what we're doing. This is the rice. All right, the lid on top. And also what I heard is if you don't have a lid that's like super secure, before you put your lid on, put a piece of tin foil over it and it'll make everything, because you don't want, from what I've seen, you don't want any type of moisture leaving this. You want it all in there. And this is gonna go for about 30 to 40 minutes until that rice is cooked. And we'll see you back here soon. All right. It's been about 30 minutes. This thing is smoking like a chimney, which the YouTube Kiki Foodie, she said, hey, if it's smoking like a chimney, let it roll, let it do its thing. So that's what we did. Smell a little burn, that's also okay. So, I feel like the pepper sauce we made, we let it do its thing. This, we let it do its thing. Sometimes you just gotta let these things do their own thing and you just sit back and watch, and then when the time comes, you enjoy it. So, the big reveal, we have not opened this yet, and I'm so curious what it's gonna look like. A little watery. A little watery stuff. Hold on. Oh, in there. Okay. So, still just a little watery. So we're gonna put this back on and let it go for about another 10 minutes. I would say it's about 95% done, but we're just gonna let it ride for another 10 minutes, let it do its thing. And then we'll see you back here. For you guys, it's gonna feel like a second, but for us, we're just gonna go sit on the couch and just visualize in our mind what this is gonna taste like. So, stay tuned. All right, second attempt. See what we got. Oh yeah. Whoa. It smells good. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. A little burn on the edges. That's what we'd like to see. Now the Kiki Foodies YouTube channel, at the end of her video, she has a tutorial on how to clean.
Oh, perfect.
Kill it afterwards, and I could definitely tell and be watching that part. But hey, it's part of the business, it's part of the game. Let's plate this up. Stoked.
So excited.
The time has come once again. Jollof rice. So excited. We made sure to cool it off so Jess doesn't burn her face off again.
But I have a feeling it's still gonna be very hot. All right. I'll say it smells delicious.
It does. Whoa. Brainwaves are flying.
It's so good. I thought it was gonna be spiced. Like the first initial flavor was like, this is about to be really spicy.
Oh, really?
But it's not too spicy. I'm not the
Yeah, it's from coming from you. That's saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the flavor of spice is there,
Ooh.
which
Which is the best.
you're gonna love. Oh, this is so good. Austin loves rice, and especially all these meals that we keep making that are rice based. And this one having the spice and all the flavor. I'm gonna take another bite and torture you.
Yeah, we put a less than a half of habanero in there, and I was curious if it was going to come through at all. Obviously, they say habaneros are super hot, and I'm glad it did.
This is good.
Get a crunch of that chicken real quick. Whoa.
I wish I could put a straw in this rice and just suck it up. Is this a good way to do it?
I don't know.
I feel like this is a good way to do it.
I think it's, yeah. That looks like a great way to do it.
Such a rich flavor. So many flavors at one time. All right, your turn.
Nigerian jollof rice. What I'm seeing in all these recipes is the preparation is so detailed, which I love, and you're putting a lot of effort and thought into everything, and everything matters. And when you get to this point, it means so much more when you eat it. So much more satisfying when you get to this point and you've prepared the meal, and it's coming out kind of similar to what it looked like in the videos, and I'm just so excited to get in there and give it a try. You could smell smokiness. It's like a smokiness, burnt type of vibe, which is what it's meant to be. Here we go. Whoa. Wow. That spice. Oh. It's the perfect amount of spice. Oh my God.
Yeah. It doesn't like make your eyes run. It doesn't make your nose run. But that flavor, it's all in the flavor.
Oh man, it's so like smooth. And the rice, we were supposed to use parboiled rice in the Trinidad dish. Couldn't find, actually the only bag we could find was very expensive, so we opted for the brown rice. Should have did the parboiled, because there's a reason it's parboiled.
Yeah.
I don't know what parboiled is. If anybody knows, leave in the comments, because I have. But that is good. That is great. Oh my God. This is exciting. Tomato based with rice, something I've never had.
Right.
And it goes so well together. And the heat. Oh. Wow. Buttery almost. Smooth, comforting. The tomato. Oh.
Yeah, a very strong tomato flavor, like.
But not acidic.
Right.
Smooth.
Yeah.
And it must have, she was saying in her video that the tomato paste, getting it down to that deep red color, is going to take all that, I guess, the bitterness out of the tomato paste and bring out a ton of flavor. And whew, the heat is like spot on.
It is.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I feel like if we went a little more, it'd been too much.
Yeah.
A little less, you wouldn't have tasted it. I'm gonna be using habaneros, Scotch bonnet peppers, all that in more dishes. Whoa. Let me get this chicken thigh. Oh. I've never had fried chicken you know, in the States, fried chicken, you batter it, you flour, you know, and then you fry it, you get this batter all over it. It's really good and all. I like that.
I do too.
So on the video that we watched, you can do it in the oven or air fryer if you want a little healthier option, obviously. But the Nigerian way, if you're cooking this dish with chicken, turkey, any type of protein, you want to fry it like we did. That's the way to do it. Holy moly. That was phenomenal. And you can just check that one right off the list, because that'll live in our minds for a long time. And that, with the pilau and the jollof rice, staples in the Reeves household from here on out. Can't wait to share this with our friends, our family. Otto, look at him. He knows what's coming. You guys know the deal. If you've been here for the last 8 episodes, end of the episode, Otto gets himself a little treat. He likes to experience these countries as well. So, you know what time it is. 10 out of 10, by the way.
10 out of 10.
Nigeria, thank you so much. That was beautiful. So glad we got to experience it. It'll live in us through our kitchen for a lifetime. And we couldn't be more excited, because that was phenomenal.
So good.
There's only one thing left to do to wrap this episode up. And it sits over there, off in the distance, the raised bucket hat.
Let's go.
And no other person I'd rather pull from that bucket hat than Jess. For the 9th time,
For the 9th time.
we go into the bucket hat to see where our fate lies for the next week. Where will we be diving into the internet, searching on this country, finding a recipe, and where will we end up next week at this time? And what will we be eating, potentially? There's just so many questions.
So many questions.
And when you go into the bucket hat, it just opens up a portal to questions and potential answers.
All right.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
We are going to Australia.
Australia!
Australia.
Let's go! That's gonna be a fun one.
Ooh.
Kangaroo?
No.
I eat kangaroo, I'm pretty
I
sure.
wanna.
We'll see. Whoa, that's an exciting one. Well, hey, if you're from Australia and you have an idea of what we should cook, let us know in the comments. So, anyways, we're gonna get to work.
We're gonna get to work, first of all, chowing down
on the jollof rice, and we're gonna start researching, looking into Australia, and this time next week we'll have more facts and we'll have a recipe from Australia for you. So until next time, everybody have a great week, and we'll see you back here for episode 9 of Cooking Around the Planet. See you guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Good boy. What do you think, bud? Tail approved. I see it wagging. I saw it wagging, bud. You want more?